Now at first glance, this looks like just another setup, but there are two components that changed everything. And it is the reason why the whole system actually works together. Now, I originally saw this from another creator, Kaizen Source, but they never really showed how to actually build it. So I'm building my own version, and I'm going to walk you through it step by step, giving you a template that'll get you started. I went through probably 100 different cuts trying different versions just to get it right, because it is not just about making something that fits. It has to line up consistently every single time. And that is where this started to matter more than I expected, to be quite honest with you. What looks like a simple template actually controls how these towers work together. So instead of guessing, I really started to refine it piece by piece. Now, quick tip, use blue painter's tape to accentuate some of the lines, especially if you curve in. It just allows you to kind of reshape your paper without having to get a fresh piece of paper. This piece that I'm using here is actually a recycled desktop. It's already laminated, so it is perfect for what I'm trying to do here. One thing that I do like to do before cutting is to lay down some blue painter's tape, specifically on the surface side, right? This just helps prevent any tear out, and it keeps the edges clean. Now, I want to say this too, the template is not perfect. There are actually a little bit of forgiveness that's built into the system. So don't feel like you have to hit it with absolute precision right out of the gate. The goal is to get it close, and then you refine it from there if you need to. This is where I just repeat the same process on the other side. And honestly, this was the part that I thought was going to be the hardest. But as it turns out, the next piece of the linkage system is actually what gave me more trouble. And I think I figured out something that made it a whole lot easier after a lot of struggle. In fact, for the next step, you probably already have a built-in template. You just don't know it yet. This is probably the most critical part of the entire linkage system, getting these holes in the right place. Now, what I'm doing here is I'm actually transferring those marks directly from the Dolly so everything lines up exactly where it needs to. I'm going to be drilling those out with 3/4 of an inch. I'm actually going to be using a Forstner bit for this. Now, the next part, I'm going to actually get a variety of opinions on this, I can already tell, but if you've got a mechanical or an engineering background, I'd honestly love your take on this, because the holes on the PACKOUT systems are actually a little bit larger than 3/4 of an inch. So here's what I did. I drilled these to 3/4 of an inch on purpose, which gives just a little bit of play with those Clevis pins. Here's my thinking. A little bit of tolerance actually helps if things aren't perfectly level. So instead of binding, right, it can still move just enough to stay functional. Now, one thing that did absolutely surprise me here is these holes end up really close to the edge. And in some cases, when I'm drilling those holes, they actually break through the edge completely. So what I did on the rear Clevis pins is I actually placed epoxy in those. The rear pins don't use a hitch pin or anything like that to maintain or hold it in place, right? Which means that I can drop them in and out of the Dolly system without having to reach underneath like I do in the front. And you'll kind of see what I'm talking about in a minute. And that epoxy not only holds these pins in place, but it just reinforces that area where the material gets thinner and honestly, in some spots, almost non-existent. And I'll be honest, this part gave me some pause. Why? Because when you look at this, these holes are right on the edge. There's really not much material there, and at first glance, you feel like it shouldn't work. But here's the reality. There's not a real way around it with the system. The whole location is fixed by PACKOUT design, right? So if you think about it, these holes were never really intended, I don't think, to carry structural load. And as I did my research, it's mainly that they're there for light tie downs, right? Straps, things like that, not for something like this. But here we are. I do think that the Dolly itself will handle the vertical load just fine. Where I think it could struggle more is with the torsional forces, right? The twisting between the towers, which is actually another reason why the lower tower system really isn't trying to do all the work. Most of the strength, in my opinion, of this system comes from the upper bench, tying everything together. So this part isn't about holding all the weight. It's about alignment and controlled movement between the towers. And I know some of you are thinking, well, if those holes are there for tie downs, is that how you're going to secure it in the trailer? And the answer is no. This system is actually designed, or at least my system is designed, so that it's not having to be taken apart every time that I want to move it. Kind of bold, I know, but let's see where this goes. I want to show you, and I'm going to show you in another video exactly how I'm going to be attaching it down. But once you understand where the load is actually carried, the design starts to make a lot more sense. This next part almost stopped the entire build. Well, let me be honest, it actually did. I had to put a lot of thought process into this, and I'm sure some of you would be like, that's a simple fix. And if you have that, please, 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 for my sake and everyone else's, comment down below what you would have done differently here, because now I'm working on the bench top for my portable Milwaukee PACKOUT miter saw station. And I had to get those cleats on the bottom of this perfectly aligned with the PACKOUT, and there's no way to see it. And if you're off even a little, it will not lock together. It won't sit flat, and the whole thing fails. Well, now, what I've seen other people do is they've placed feet where they go, right? They're locked in. You add a little bit of super glue, you set the board on top, hoping to place it in the right spot, and then hope that it sticks long enough to pull it back out and mark it. But here's the problem. The plastic on these are completely smooth, non-porous, and now I've painted the surface, which is also non-porous. So now I'm relying on super glue on two surfaces that really don't want to bond. Awesome. And that means it might work or it might fail epically. So I'm trying a few different ways to figure it out. And then I found something that was honestly a game changer. And once I saw this, I knew it was going to work. And then I found something that was honestly a game changer. And once I saw it, I knew it was going to work. Because most of you already have a template for this. You just don't realize it. This is it right here, the Milwaukee wall plate. It's got an open backside, which means that you can drop the cleat in to it, right? As long as you have one of the previous cleats that held with the super glue, you can line up the whole thing exactly where it needs to be. So now instead of guessing from underneath, I'm using this as a guide from the top. And once that first one is set, right? That first cleat is set, everything else just falls right into place. And even better, these plates are designed to connect together. So if you're doing more than just the 2 rows, right? Because the one that I have is just 2 rows. You can use the same pattern, map out all 4 of the columns. And now you're not just hoping it lines up, you know it will. Now, this is where it starts to get interesting, because getting the towers to align was one problem, but keeping everything locked together under load while moving, well, that was a completely different challenge. And this right here is what makes the whole system usable. And the way that I ended up solving that wasn't off the shelf. I actually had to modify the hardware to make it work, cut it down, dial the fit, and build a locking system around it. I'll show you that in the next video where we turn this into a full workstation. Now we're adding an elevated miter saw, we're building out the bench top, and we're opening up even more PACKOUT storage underneath the bench top. And that locking system, the one built around the modified Clevis pin, that's what makes it all hold together without buying specialty hardware. Simple parts, dialed in, that'll save you money. See you guys on the next one.